The Trouble Twisters by Paul Anderson. 3 weeks ago, I reviewed Operation Chaos by Paul Anderson. As I explained in that review, it was a fairly effective fix-up novel created from 4 short stories. The Trouble Twisters is an even earlier fix-up novel published by Berkeley Medallion in 1966. I did not find this one nearly as interesting as Operation Chaos. Trouble Twisters is composed of 3 longish stories featuring a character named David Falcane. When we first meet Falcane, he's a 17-year-old recruit caught up in some deadly intrigue on a foreign planet. Young and gutsy, Falcane is a natural-born soldier, the sort of young man destined to make himself and the Federation proud. He thinks well, even under extreme pressure, and solves a major problem for his shipmates stranded on a backward planet. Because of the heroism, intelligence, and character displayed in his first adventure, Falcane is quickly promoted to a position of authority by the time he reaches 22 in the second tale. By the time of the third tale, he's a seasoned explorer for the Federation, spreading the good news of capitalism throughout the galaxy. Did that last comment seem a bit snarky? Good. I hoped I wasn't being too subtle. At the time these stories were written, post-World War II, America was exploding with prosperity. The attitudes we took to third world countries as we modernized them by putting them into debt and profiting from their resources are the same attitudes Anderson's Federation delivers to the galaxy at large. The message is we are more powerful. We don't want to enslave you. We want to trade with you. Your leaders should not resist us because we can make them wealthier than they ever dreamed possible. Be reasonable. We're your friends. I wouldn't be surprised if George Lucas had read these stories or stories like them. You have gritty, determined humans, a bit like Han Solo, fighting alongside furry alien species, a bit like Chewbacca. The difference is these guys are part of the Federation, aka the Empire. They aren't rebels. They are agents of a vast organization intent on profiting from any resource it can locate and exploit. This capitalistic incentive was not overtly discussed in Star Trek, but the protagonists in Anderson's tales are a lot closer to Captain Kirk than Luke Skywalker. Are the stories entertaining? Well, they're actually not bad. If you are an American reader in search of adventure and characters you can readily relate to, yeah, this might be a good choice. The key element here is adventure. The same sort of thrills you get from a Western novel or a combat story. The difference is this caters to readers who are interested in science and math. The secret sauce is bits of real science tossed into the mix to add spice. If I was much younger and looking for adventure, this book may have been the perfect fit. My problem is I've read too many mind-expanding SF books to settle for low-hanging fruit. I could have gotten the same entertainment value from watching Gunsmoke or Mission Impossible or any number of episodic TV shows from the late 60s or early 70s. Those shows bolstered the same capitalistic message touted in Anderson's stories. Am I knocking capitalism? Not really. I live in a capitalist society and I find it superior to other systems on our planet. Do I believe capitalism is being steered in a totalitarian direction? Yeah, a little bit. Ever since tax reforms of the Reagan years, there has been an appalling increase in the divide separating the haves from the have-nots. A large percentage of workers find themselves on a treadmill of financial slavery. And no, that's not a good thing. Do I have the answers needed to address this problem? No. But neither do any of the elected or unelected officials we are counting on to somehow make things better. Wow, looks like I've gone off on a tangent. I should probably reiterate on a regular basis that this channel is all about promoting the reading of SF as a personal experience. I'm not an academic. I'm not here to tell you how you should respond to these books. I'm here to give you an enthusiastic and honest glimpse into my experience and to encourage you to have your own relationship with the genre. It took me longer than usual to finish The Trouble Twisters. No doubt I was resistant to the subtext and not overly impressed with the world building. That's me. Honestly, it's not a bad book, and I can imagine many people I know being pleased with what it has to offer. I'm just relieved that I can move on to something a bit more stimulating, enticing, and better suited to my particular sensibilities. So long for now. The Trouble Twisters by Poul Anderson. You may like it. Hello there. If you are enjoying these science fiction book reviews by Brett McCormick, please like and subscribe. Also, comments are always welcome.